On this episode of Tesla Tidbits, Autopilot will be eventually watching you. We have a date set for Q1 earnings. Autopilot may be losing some hardware, and more. This is Tesla Tidbits episode number 648 for April 11th, 2021. Tidbit number 1 this week comes from our favorite hacker, Green the Only, and boy is this one a good one. It's actually a 2-for-1 though. Firstly, Green had some of the first video of Tesla's in-car camera in action. Interestingly, it is mildly obstructed by the rearview mirror, causing the passenger to be somewhat obscured. However, it does not ever prevent it from at least seeing the driver at all times. And that, friends, leads us to the second piece of this, where Green has discovered that Tesla is watching the driver. While none of this is used in any production capacity just yet, Green shows us the confidence values and states that Tesla sees when watching the driver. Among the states that Tesla is tracking are driver eyes down, driver eyes nominal, driver looking right, driver looking left, phone use, camera dark, camera blinded, and many, many more. Additionally, Green posted video of this in action during the night. While it certainly takes a hit on reliability during the night hours, it does still seem to work for the most part. For me, this is a huge step forward for the company, as this is obviously a precursor to driver monitoring for Autopilot. Many have taken issue with Autopilot driver monitoring for varying reasons, but for me, it is essential for two specific reasons. First and foremost, safety. It is trivial for you to have your hand resting on the steering wheel and still succumb to drowsiness. With your hand on the wheel, the car still believes you're alert, and bad things could happen without your attention. Secondly, and mildly connected to the first part, is if the car is happy you're attentive to the road, there are no more nag warnings to worry about when the system incorrectly determines you don't have your hand on the wheel. Potentially, hands on the wheel may not even need to be a thing, since the car knows whether you're paying attention or not. To me, that bit of extra quality of life is worth it alone. It's also worth mentioning that this wasn't found in any beta firmware. This is running on vehicles right now in the famous Tesla Shadow mode. So if you're one who's leery of cameras on you unnecessarily, you might take this time right now to obscure the camera with a small sticky note or painter's tape. However, know that while you're gaining privacy, you are also not contributing to the testing of the feature. The choice is all yours, dear listener. Tidbit number 2 is a quick one from Tesla Investor Relations. Our first quarterly Christmas for the 2021 fiscal year comes on Monday, April 26th, where we'll find out if Tesla makes it 7 profitable quarters in a row, among many other things. Hopefully, we'll get some new updates on both Cybertruck and the refreshed S and X. Stay tuned for my usual show covering the event, including audio from the earnings call. Tidbit number 3 is a rumor from Kelvin Yang, who has proven reliable in the past. As always with rumors, please take them with a grain of salt, but this one goes out to would-be Cybertruck owners that may not be down with the stainless aesthetic. Kelvin tweeted, quote, 3M is developing color films specifically for Cybertruck. Could be from factory, end quote. I personally think that this will help some with sales. I'm personally not a huge fan of the stainless look, but throw some black on that and murder it out like the Batman tumbler, and we have a whole new ballgame for me. Obviously, Cybertruck has been hugely polarizing, but this one little bit could potentially bring a few more folks into the fold. Tidbit number 4 is another reminder of waiting for the perfect Tesla potentially costing you, courtesy of Whole Mars blog. Model 3 and Model Y both saw price increases recently. Model 3 Standard Range Plus, Model 3 Long Range, and Model Y Long Range all saw $500 price increases. Model 3 Performance has went up a cool $1,000. Model Y Performance remains untouched at the moment. Not huge increases, but definitely worth mentioning that Tesla pricing is fluid and goes up and down without notice. Tidbit number 5 this week is Elon on Twitter dropping a bomb that the company is getting ready to drop radar as an input from Autopilot. He tweeted, quote, almost ready with full self-driving beta version 9. Step change improvement is massive, especially for weird corner cases and bad weather. Pure vision, no radar, end quote. Now, I was ready to declare Elon ready for the asylum with that announcement, until a tweet from the latest new Tesla hacker Tristan on Twitter, going by the handle of @Rice_Fry. Tristan tweeted, quote, For auto steer on city streets, you need to know the velocity and acceleration of cars in all directions, but radar is only pointing forward. If it's accurate enough to make a left turn, radar is probably unnecessary for the most part. End quote. It was at that point I said to myself, Self, that makes sense. Finally, this week is word that Tesla is looking to set a new record for world's largest supercharger location, courtesy of Inside EVs. Currently, that honor belongs to the Shanghai location that sports 72 charge points. However, the Harris Ranch location in California is looking to swipe that top spot. Currently, Harris Ranch is an 18 stall location. However, this report says that the location looks to expand to potentially more than 100 stalls. The Harris Ranch Inn and Restaurant, which is the host of the location, was quoted regarding the project saying, quote, "As you may already know, Harris Ranch Inn and Restaurant is a proud partner with Tesla Motors to host a Tesla Supercharger station. 13 Supercharger stalls are available on a daily basis, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. We are excited to announce that Tesla has applied for the construction of the world's largest supercharger, which could consist of more than 100 stalls and will be located right here at Harris Ranch in Coalinga, California." End quote. California can certainly use the bump, as when we hear about supercharger congestion, it is typically from the unofficial EV capital of the world. Interestingly, the article posits as well that this may also end up being the first location to boast mega chargers to power Tesla's Semi. The thought is that all these extra superchargers would share power with the megachargers. Thus, the reasoning for all the extra superchargers is to utilize all the extra available power that for the short term will just be sitting there dark most of the time. I have to think that being located smack in the middle of I-5 between San Francisco and Los Angeles, these superchargers will certainly see their share of use and alleviate a lot of strain on the network in Southern California. That will do it for this week's show. Thanks to all my patrons supporting the show at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. And as always, I have a special shout out to all the super patrons supporting the show at the $10 plus level. They are Ryan Scarborough, Lee Sweet, William Henry Crew III, Dory and Steve Guberman, Ralph and Cheryl Waterhouse, Todd Sullivan, Zortek LED Canada, Raymond and Deborah Malkowitz, Vicky Kirk, Ricky Johnston, Nathan Garza, Ed Patterman, Sunil Joseph, and Brad Lettner. If you have feedback for me, the best way to be heard is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits and use the hashtag AskTeslaTidbits if you'd like your question to be considered for the show. Until next time, keep it charged and hit the road.